The Watcher told Ghost Rider that Galactus needs to devour worlds for the universe to become perfect, but Ghost Rider didn't care. He still wanted to kill him. But how we got to this point is actually interesting. You see, in 1970, New York, the Thing confronted a man who was wanted for murder, which provoked the man to pull a gun on him and explained that he murdered 5 people so that he could be the head of human resources at an accounting firm. But before Ben could respond, Ghost Rider showed up.
I am your judge. I am your jury. I am your...
But Ghost Rider was interrupted by a man in a building nearby who was calling for his friend to come and see Ghost Rider.
Shut up! I'm working here! Now, where was I? Oh yes, jury and executioner. Let your guilt over your crimes condemn you. Face now the lethal fire of the Penance Stare.
The Thing, or rather Ben Grimm, and Ghost Rider, or rather Johnny Blaze, stood over the incinerated man almost in disbelief. But that's when the Thing started arguing with Ghost Rider, telling him that he was actually the one that was supposed to take care of the now incinerated man. Ghost Rider started walking off, and that's when the Thing asked him to accompany him to get a suit for his date with Alicia. And somehow, Ghost Rider agreed. The real reason Ben asked Johnny to accompany him was not for Ben to model different suits in front of Johnny, but rather to ask him how the Penance Stare worked.
Listen, what I wanted to talk to you about is that Penance Stare thing. Does it work on everybody who's, like, killed people? Could somebody use, say, science to stop it from working?
But Johnny gave a straight answer. It worked on anyone who had done something they felt guilty about, and science couldn't stop it. It was supernatural, so only something of equal or more supernatural power could stop it. That's when Ben whispered the name Galactus into Johnny's ear. You see, it didn't sit well with Ben that Galactus devours worlds, killing millions just to satisfy his hunger. Every time they fought Galactus, he walked away in one piece, and maybe it was because they fought science with science. But what Johnny had was not science, leading Ben to the conclusion that it just might work. As Ben walked away, he left Johnny wondering how to get to space in order to destroy Galactus. And it just so happened that 2 days later, there was a rocket launch happening at Cape Canaveral in Florida. Johnny rode his bike straight onto the rocket, attaching itself onto the rocket in the process.
Now let's turn this baby into high gear.
We then see a planet. The name is of no use as it is about to be devoured by Galactus.
The last of the silver cities have fallen, and the sky is on fire. We threw ourselves against the inevitable, but to no avail. All we were, all we are, and all we could have ever been is at an end. Let it be said that we faced the great terror and did not look away, that we fought for the right to be, and that when the end came, we were not afraid. To those who might one day receive this signal, we the dead send our regards.
Galactus then devoured the planet and started looking for his next to devour.
Lay in coordinates for the next jump. Galactus, I am here to call you to account for your crimes. Turn and face me. Trouble another little insect. Little insect, fine then, on your terms.
Ghost Rider and Galactus engaged in a brutal fight, neither of them holding back.
Do I have your attention now? Yes.
The fight raged on until
Let your guilt over your crimes condemn you. Face now the lethal fire of the Penance Stare. Don't turn your back on me. I'm not finished with you.
I'm afraid you are, Spirit of Vengeance.
But the Penance Stare
Has no effect because Galactus knows neither guilt nor remorse nor sorrow for his actions.
the Watcher continued by telling Ghost Rider that it is the nature of Galactus to devour worlds, just like a shark feeds because it is their nature, and they can't feel guilty for it. But Ghost Rider stopped the Watcher from finishing and told him that he heard it all before, from the Punisher, Thanos, and even Bullseye. But he couldn't accept it. Galactus could devour millions or billions of worlds with innocent life on it, and Ghost Rider couldn't let that happen, even if it meant staying in battle with him for over 1,000 years. Then so be it. He had no other choice.
You believe you have no choice because you do not know the rest of it.
The rest of what?
It is known that there has been many universes before this one was created, in what is called the Big Bang. Just as it is known that Galactus was once called Gallon of Ta, the lone survivor from the universe immediately preceding this one, saved from destruction in a cosmic egg, then revived in this universe with a hunger that could only be appeased by consuming entire worlds. What is not known because few have asked is, what happened to all those prior universes, and why? And what is the meaning?
The meaning of what?
Everything, every prior universe from time immemorial came to an end because they contained the seed of their own destruction, birthed at the moment of their creation, in those who were chosen to survive that destruction. Each of them, in a way, became the Galactus of their universe. They became known as the Great Destroyers. Stars, planets, and galaxies fell before them, until in the end, after 1 trillion years, only the Destroyer remained.
Wait.
This confused Ghost Rider, as he believed it to mean that nothing was meant to last, that we were all created just to be eaten by Galactus. It didn't make any sense to him. The Watcher explained that everything has to come to an end eventually. We do not plant a field of wheat and not harvest it. There is no greater meaning than for life to end in silence. For a destroyer to devour a planet, more than its hunger is actually satisfied. The hunger is just what drives a destroyer to do what it needs to do, to gather the harvest and prepare for the birth of the next universe. It's not only the lives and planet that is harvested, but also everything that made the planet unique, like their music, art, and determination to stay alive. All the things that gave the planet and beings purpose.
Until finally, when all has been consumed, leaving only the void, the destroyer reaches critical mass. The dreams and art and music of 1 trillion hearts unite within him, ready to be birthed
anew. They strive within the destroyer for release, tearing it asunder with their will to live, to once again begin the great journey. That energy hovers in the timeless void, waiting for a single spark to light the fire, a single thought, and then the cycle of creation and destruction, life and death and art and beauty and music and memories and purpose begins again, shaped by all that came before and fueled by the desire to live once more. As a result, each new universe, each new cycle is stronger, better, and nobler than the one before, closer to perfection.
And then what? What's the end game?
The Watcher explained that someday, no one knows when, perfection will be achieved for the universe. The memory of all that lived and died along the way would be honored, and it would be amazing. All the pain and struggles would all be worth it in the end. It would be beautiful.
So now that you know the truth, what is your reply?
My reply consists of 5 words. The first 3 words are, I don't care! Would you like to know what the other 2 words are? Galactus doesn't get a free pass because of something that might happen 1 trillion years from now. He can be destroyed now.
Yes, and future universes may not be born as a result.
Not my problem. I don't care what happens in 1 trillion years. All I care is what happens right now, and I'm not done with this or with him.
Yes, you are.
I said,
What you said does not matter.
look,
But before Ghost Rider could finish his sentence, he was already back on Earth. While walking the streets, still confused as to what just happened, Ben and Alicia were seated at a restaurant for dinner and asked him to join them, which he did. Ben had shown Johnny the reason for it all, the beauty, and a reason to keep going forward, which made Johnny understand everything the Watcher had said.